And stand by to go live, 20 seconds. And go ahead and start recording.
All right, we're recording.
15 seconds. Ready to dissolve camera 2 into open A1, A2. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Take camera 2, open 1 and 2.
Good evening and welcome to this week's edition of Q News. I'm Alex Gibson.
And I'm Drew Lohman. No winner has been declared in the United States presidential race, and votes are still being counted.
Take camera 3, open, close.
Millions of Americans are voting by mail due to the COVID-19 pandemic.
Roll clips, take
due to
clips.
postal delays and rejected ballots,
Beautiful.
the decision process is taking longer than past elections. The mail-in ballots are expected to favor Biden, whose campaign encouraged Democrats to vote early, while in-person votes on Election Day may have given Trump an advantage.
Ready, camera 3.
The Trump
open
campaign
2.
requested a recount in Wisconsin on Wednesday. Candidates may request a recount if they're within 1% of the winner's total. While election officials were concerned with the voting during a pandemic, battleground states have reported a smooth process.
Take camera 3, open A2.
High Point University is giving students
Ready,
the opportunity
clips.
to vote by providing shuttles to polling sites.
Roll clips,
Shuttles
take
started
clips.
running from the R.G. Wannick Center at 1 p.m. on Election Day and continue to run until 5:30 p.m. The university created a website link called HPU Votes, in which students
Ready,
can
camera
reserve
1
a spot
into
on the
open
shuttle.
A2 and close A1.
The form to reserve a seat on the shuttle asks the student what the most optimal time to vote is for them in order to make sure the shuttle time works for the student. In this election, the amount of voters ages 18 to 29 grew by 600%.
Take camera 1, open A2.
Meanwhile,
close A1.
in-person on-campus
Ready,
tours
clips,
continue
and
amidst the
open clips and
COVID-19
close 2.
pandemic, to the frustration of some students. I got to speak with HPU students to find out why.
Take clips, open clips, close 2.
From a free t-shirt to information on how to apply.
So hard.
High Point University provides in-person campus tours to prospective students 7 days a week.
Oh, okay.
Current HPU students are not allowed to bring guests onto campus due to the university's COVID-19 protocol, leaving many students angry.
I just don't understand why High Point is choosing to administer all of these campus tours, putting
Ready,
their
camera
students
1
at
into
risk,
open
yet I can't
A2
even
and
bring my
close
best friend
clip.
over for dinner. And that just
Here's
increases the risk
thing,
even
tours
more,
are being done
rather
really
than
well.
just one
They're not
person.
allowed to touch.
Now, on many college campuses, they give group walking tours, but here at High Point, they give tours on a golf cart. There's only one family per golf cart, and if the ambassador is driving up here with the guests on the 3rd and 4th row, they are following the CDC guidelines of that 6-foot requirement.
While on tour, we maintain 6 feet distance. We wear
yeah,
our face
we pass
masks
out
at
the,
all
the
times. We
screen
go
there.
in and out of the correct enter and
Ready,
exit
camera 1
doors.
into open A2 and close
We
2.
offer
Yeah, we pass out
sanitizer
the
and masks
theater.
to all of our families, and we also clean the golf carts before and after each tour.
HPU continues to be one of the few colleges in North Carolina giving in-person campus tours. For Q News, I'm Drew Lohman.
Take camera 1, open 2, close
The
clips.
university also plans to host 2 open house events this month.
Ready, C2 into open A1. Take C2, open A1, A2.
Next up for Q News, North Carolina election
camera 2,
results.
camera 2, camera 2.
And updates on the increase of COVID-19
Ready, clips,
cases.
and to open clips, close A1, include. Take clips.
Opiates has taken everything and everyone I've ever loved away from me. Everything.
I blew my ankle out and I got prescribed pain pills by my doctor.
If making my detox public is going to help somebody, I'm all for it. I just wish I would have had a warning.
Opioid dependence can happen after just 5 days. Know the truth, spread the truth.
Take camera 1, open A2, close clips. Q talent.
The 2020 U.S. election
clips,
took place
roll
and
clips,
votes are
take
in.
clips.
Roy Cooper has been reelected as governor for North Carolina, representing the Democratic
Camera
Party.
3 into open
The
A1,
Senate has
close
yet to be
A2.
officially elected, as votes are still being counted. Republican candidate Tom Tillis is in the lead against Democratic candidate Cal Cunningham. However, the Associated Press has not called this race despite the lead.
Take camera 3, open A1, close A2.
COVID-19 cases are rising around the United States. There are
Ready, clips,
reported 47
roll
million
clips, take
positive cases globally, and cases continue to rise in some countries. While other countries have the virus under control, in North Carolina, the Department of Health and Human Services reported 2,349 new cases,
Ready, camera
making
1
it the
into
12th
open
highest
A2
total
and close
since the
A1.
pandemic began. The state reported 67 coronavirus-related deaths, also making the number of fatalities the highest since the start of the pandemic.
Take camera 1, open 2, close
Students
1.
at High Point University are having to
Ready,
adjust
clips.
in many ways to the new COVID protocol,
clips.
and seniors are no
Take clips.
different. Gatherings are still prohibited, and it's very uncertain if a normal graduation
Good
will
job.
take place. Last year, the ceremony for the class of 2020 was held via Zoom amidst the pandemic. Students are in hope for a traditional in-person ceremony, but the final decision will be made in a few months regarding the ceremony for May of 2021.
Take 3, open A1, close A2.
Updated policies from HPU about social distancing leave students confused and questioning certain requirements, specifically rules regarding masks on
Roll
campus.
clips, take clips, open clips, close 1.
Voicing their concerns with masks policies on campus. Where there are students who fully support these protocols, there are those who question the logic behind the rules.
The multi-views.
I think it's ridiculous that we have to continue to wear these masks, especially when we walk into buildings and, you know, a couple feet, and then we have to put it on, take it off when we're eating. I think it's kind of just really redundant.
A student jokes that once you sit down, you become immune to the virus. Everyone has their masks off. Regulations also raise student concerns about living spaces.
Especially if you are in the large gathering with a group of people that you constantly hang out with. It doesn't really make sense to wear that if you're always around them sharing the same spaces.
Despite those who question these safety measures, there are still many who support it.
I don't have a problem with masks. I think that they're just here for our safety, and I don't think it's a big deal to wear a mask in class and all those things, especially because they're just here to protect us.
Although there will always be counter views, we must work together to minimize the effects of this virus at HPU. David Kleinschuster, Q News.
Take camera 3, open A1.
Despite the mask confusion, students are still encouraged to continue keeping their distance and one another safe, while respecting HPU's policies.
Take camera 2, open A1, A2.
Thanks for watching Q News. I'm Drew Lohman.
And I'm Alex Gibson. Q Sports is next. Have a good night.
Take clips, open clips, close A1, A2. Nice. Camera 2, just open the lock. Okay, fine, there. It's off center. They're off center. They are. Yeah, okay, have them both shift.
It takes less than 1 minute to find out if you may have prediabetes. You can do it here.
Have them face their cameras.
But you probably won't. You're busy. Kids, work, show coming back in 48 seconds. So let's do this now. Hold up one finger if you're a man. Women, 0.
40 seconds.
3 more fingers if you're over 60. 2 over 50. 1 over 40. If you're not sure, keep in mind you're sitting on a couch right now, so 1 more finger if you're not very active. 1 finger if yes, 0 if no. 1 yes, 0 no. Next, find the body type that looks most like you and hold up that many fingers while I look around awkwardly. And that's it. If you're holding up 5 fingers or more, you probably have prediabetes. Sorry to be so blunt, but hey, you're busy. Just go to the site.
Roll show intro. Ready, camera 2.
From the Needle Bay School of Communication on the campus of High Point University, this is Q Sports Update.
Fade camera 2, open A1, close clips. Q talent. Q talent. Q talent.
Oh, good afternoon. I'm Tanner White, along with Alec Nava here to give you this week's Q Sports update.
Take camera 3, open 1.
HBU alumna and former women's volleyball player Jenna Wadner has been invited to Team USA's training camp in Park City, Utah, to train for Winter Olympic events, bobsledding and skeleton. Wadner, who graduated this past spring, has never participated in either sport before. She's admitted that she's new to both sports, but is excited for this opportunity to try new things.
Take camera 1, close.
High Point University men's golf sophomore Adam Hooker secured a top 10 finish in the Lonnie Poole Amateur Tournament this past weekend in Raleigh. After the first 2 rounds, Hooker was tied for 16th place, 12 shots off the lead. He climbed his way up the leaderboard, shooting at 68 in his final round, and was able to tie for 8th place in the tournament. Hooker was able to end the event with the most birdies in the field. As those who think COVID is dwindling down the NFL, the injuries are racking up. Jimmy Garoppolo is expected to miss an extended period of time due to a high ankle injury he suffered in Sunday's loss to Seattle. 49ers tight end George Kittle will also miss an extended period of time due to a small fracture in his foot. The Patriots' Julian Edelman is out for a few weeks due to his knee surgery he had last week. Jaguars fullback Bruce Miller is being suspended 6 games for PEDs. Panthers' Christian McCaffrey is still out with a high ankle sprain. And finally, the 7-0 Steelers defensive lineman Cam Hayward is dealing with a minor quad injury.
Roll clips, take clips, open A1, close A2.
Their Week 8, 28-24 win over the Baltimore Ravens, the Pittsburgh Steelers remain the only undefeated team in the NFL. They now match the 1978 team with the best start in their franchise history. With this win, Steelers coach Mike Tomlin is now the most winningest African-American head coach in NFL history. The Steelers hope to continue their winning streak, facing the injury-riddled Dallas Cowboys on Sunday.
Take camera 1, open A1,
Antonio Brown will play this weekend for Tampa Bay against New Orleans for the first time this season after serving his 8-game suspension for violations of the personal conduct policy. Buccaneers coach Bruce Arians said that Brown will have a limited role in his first game back, but it depends how the game goes.
Take camera 3, close.
We recently saw an entirely different playoff style for the NBA, and now it's possible that we might see a change in how the NFL conducts their playoffs. The league is planning to switch from a 12 to 14 team playoff this season, but the competition committee is now expected to pitch a 16 team playoff to the league owners. If game cancellations due to COVID causes the 16 team playoff to move forward, then the top 2 seeds in each conference would likely receive a bye, while the other teams facing off in wild card matchups.
Roll clips, take clips, open 2, close.
Trevor Lawrence will miss Clemson's weekend game against Notre Dame, with DJ Uiagalelei set to make his second consecutive start. Lawrence, the top prospect in the 2021 NFL Draft, is in the final stages of clearing the ACC's COVID-19 protocols after testing positive.
Take camera 3.
Uiagalelei, the top QB prospect of the 2020 recruiting class, threw for 341 yards and 2 touchdowns against Boston College last weekend in his first career start.
Take camera 3.
The NBA is still battling over their start date for the 2021 season. Wanting to start December 22nd, players are stating that they would like to start in January. The league's other issue is that they're not able to financially host games in a bubble setting. This past season, the league lost 10% of its revenue and cost the league $190 million. While the league may win against the players, this conversation throughout the next month will not end without a fight.
Take camera 1, open.
The Chicago White Sox and Detroit Tigers have hired their new managers, shocking the sports world. Hall of Fame coach Tony La Russa returns to Chicago on a multi-year deal. La Russa is the third winningest manager in MLB history. Detroit hired former Astros manager A.J. Hinch as their new manager after his suspension for a cheating scandal is now over. His deal is also a multi-year contract.
Take camera 3, open 1.
High Point University mourns the loss of former baseball coach Chuck Hartman, who passed away on November 2nd at the age of 85. Hartman served as head baseball coach for 19 seasons, finishing with a .483 and .225 record. He led the Panthers to 10 Conference Carolina championships, 2 area championships, and 5 District 26 championships, and still remains HPU's winningest coach. Hartman's number 1 jersey remains at Willard Stadium as one of only 2 jerseys retired by the program, and he will be greatly missed by every player and person that he impacted.
2, open 2.
Thank you for tuning in to this week's Q Sports Update. I'm Alec Nava with Tanner White. We'll see you next week.
Take clips, open clips, close A2, ready, fade to black, and fade down audio. Fade in 3, 2, 1, fade video audio. Stop recording. Beautiful. That one was way better.